Hi everyone and welcome. I'm thanking you all for joining us here today. As you know, this is our annual time of year that we get together and we ask the employees to help with donations for local charities via their payroll deductions. And this year the reason we're having a small little get-together is because we're promoting a new charity that I think would be interesting and that I think is a very needy and worthy cause. So, as you all know, my name is Sharon McNulty, and I'm going to talk to you today about the Brothers Foundation. It was founded in 1958, 55 years ago, by a Dr. Robert Kingston, M.D. He was an anesthesiologist, and the Brothers Foundation is located here on the north side in the graffiti-stricken part of Pittsburgh, over by the Manchester War Street area. The Brothers Foundation was founded because, to start off before, I want you to kind of envision this. Close your eyes for a second and I want you to think about this. Think about when you're sitting in your recliner watching TV, you just finished dinner, you have a full belly and you're sitting there and you hear some commotion going on outside. You get up and you go outside and you look around, but instead of seeing your neighbor's two-story, split-level home, you see dirt and desert and you see grass huts. And in front of that grass hut, you'll see, in front of that grass hut, there's a woman who looks to be about 70 to 80 years old. But in reality, she's only 46. She's a grandmother, she's toothless, she's barefoot. She's blind because of glaucoma or vision problems. And then a little bit further down this, you're standing there and you're watching her, and you hear crying and you hear moaning and groaning, and you look down the street and there's a family mourning the death of their one-year-old who has just succumbed to starvation. Or you have a woman across the street who's just died in childbearing, or you have the little kids, the little children sitting off into the corner sleeping on mats, on straw mats, on dirt floors that are riddled with fever from malaria, and they're covered with flies. These people don't have any educations, they're full of worms, they don't have the proper food, and so it was this plight and this vision that Dr. Kingston had to promote. It was the vision of billions of people in the world that were suffering, that were in need of just aid because they're so poor. When the father figure is only making $900 a year, when some of us make that in a week. So his plight was to help these people in need. As you can see, that world hunger is an epidemic. It is estimated that 624 million people suffer from hunger. That's 1 in 6. And approximately 25,000 people die a year. That's 1 every 3 seconds. Malaria is another big epidemic in other countries, especially when there's a lot of mosquitoes, water around. They estimate that over 300 million people worldwide are afflicted with malaria, and that 1 in 2 million could possibly die a year from it. It was this vision of the billions of people suffering a year that led him Dr. Kingston to dedicate his life in helping with the needy. The Brothers Foundation mission, quote unquote, is to promote international health and education. It's through the efficient and effective distribution and provision of donated medical, educational, agriculture, and other resources. The BBF programs are designated to fulfill its mission by connecting people with the resources and people's needs. And he works together with, the BBF has worked together with numerous other organizations, be it locally and or internationally, that want to help their own country. And in doing so, it's been an astronomical ride over the last 55 years. What started out as being just helping people with immunizations. In fact, Dr. Hingston was the one who designed and came up with needleless inoculation. Let's see if we can see that picture. As you can see, he's inoculating one of the tribesmen. It's a needleless system, and it's a lot more sanitary than just having needles. Okay. BBF over the past 55 years has served people in over 146 different countries over 5 different continents. The education contributions alone, and what his idea is to help educate these people. In order to educate these people, they can and teach them how to survive in the lands that they live in, and just to better their lives. It enables them and it helps their cultures to survive. Education contributions alone are 94,735,641 books. That educated over 25 million different students in over 50,000 different schools. And as far as humanitarian contributions go, which I think is astronomical, this is 7,742 tons of seeds. That's enough to cover 14,000 square miles, which is also equivalent to, check this out, 6,777,609 football fields. That's a lot of land. They donated all this for them to grow their own crops, so to help with starvation and famine. 18,670 tons of food has been donated. H.J. Heinz is one of them that has helped, is a local charity that has also helped in this need. Enough to feed over 100,000 people in times of disaster. Medical contributions, 13,212 tons of medical supplies. Approximately, when you say tons, you know, people are like, you're not positive about how much that is equivalent to. Take an African gray elephant. They're approximately 8 tons. That's how much they weigh. So, with the amount of medical supplies shipped, 1,651 elephants. That's a lot of supplies for medical. They've also, as far as pharmaceutical goes, 33 million different prescriptions have been sent out to help with the needy who were sick over the years, and the hospital equipment that has been sent to over 1,000 different hospitals to help with their medical and help with their survival rates. Back to another astounding, just between the years of 1958 and 1980, the immunization part of his charity has inoculated over 10 million people. Since other humanitarian efforts have gone out there, World Hunger, etc., he's been able to, because like I said, once he started off with immunizations, but he's been able to expand his dream because of the help of other organizations. But their efforts don't just stop there. It's not just helping humanitarian, it's not just helping educate, but they're also there in times of need in case of disaster. When disaster strikes, they've been there. They were there for Hurricane Sandy, they were there for the Japanese tsunami. But the one that I am worthy of, and I was actually given the opportunity to help Brothers Foundation, was back in, if you all remember, the Indian tsunami back on December 26th of 2004. I worked for DHL back then. And I used to, and the reason I know of Brothers Foundation literally is because I used to deliver there. So I was aware of their cause. And I remember after the tsunami how they were seeking help. A lot of the problems with Brothers Foundation is, they get a lot of donations from different companies, but their problem is shipping costs. Shipping costs are astronomical, and the problem with the rising costs of oil, it's harder and harder and harder to find the money to actually be able to ship merchandise. So that's a fleet, and that's a flight that they look and they seek help for. They were there. They were one of the first ones on the scene, and I was able with our employee discount distribution and with the help of my supervisors and our managers, we were able to go throughout the United States and take donations for this effort. And with the help of everyone else, we were able to ship 4 containers via their DHL's their ocean freight. source, and we were able to ship. And they got 4 containers on a thing, and that's about the size of that's about the size of a tractor trailer, if not a little bit bigger, of supplies that were able to go and help with the victims of the tsunami. So that was actually that was a very prideful thing for me. I was very proud of that situation, that we were able to save them thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and that was all at the expense and the help of the DHL employees. Along with the cooperation of other organizations and the many of thousands of volunteers, BBS has become one of the highest rated charities worldwide. They've been recognized by both Forbes, the Better Business Bureau, and Charity Navigator. Forbes magazine tied BBF first in the most efficient charity with a rating of 99.4% efficiency. Less than 1% goes to administration costs. The Better Business Bureau, between the years of 2006 and 2012, has given the BBF the Wise Giving Alliance Standards seal of approval. And Charity Navigator has given BBF a high ranking of 4 stars. It's a very efficient, very cost-effective charity. You also wonder, how do you know which charity to pick from? I mean, there's so many. Do you realize that there's I think there's over 55,000 just in Pennsylvania alone. There's 1.6 million nonprofit organizations. So you sit there and say, wow, which one do I actually pick from? Well, I wrote down a couple statistics. One of the important things to me is, how much money do CEOs have? I mean, you've heard a lot of different things between UNICEF and Salvation, not the Salvation Army, but different charities that, CEO, they're taking millions and millions of dollars. Well, anyway, these are just a couple of statistics. From what CEOs are actually making. The compensation for the CEO of Project Hope is $607,109 a year.
Sorry.
Compensation for the president of the UNICEF is $467,463 a year. Compensation from the president and CEO of the American Red Cross, $501,122. Compensation from the president, the Director of Relief International, $294,000. And the compensation for the president of the Brother's Brother is the son of the founder, Luke L. Hingston, which is $153,191. And considering the fact that just last year alone they made $242 million, I think $153,000 is actually pittance compared to what they actually make. So, with that said, these are just some of the wonderful causes, wonderful things that they do for the people in the world and along here. It's not just international, they help here as well. But they are in desperate need of donations to help with their shipping costs. The problems that we have incurred with the Brothers Foundation is they're in more need of cash donations to help with their shipping costs, because when it comes to donations as far as food or books and things like that, they usually seek that from bigger donations, and they also need approvals. So they do require, you can go online to the brothersfoundation.org, or you can send money to the address here, and the phone number is listed as well, because they definitely need some help. So, but we worked with them in cooperation with them to help with payroll deductions if anyone is interested in this cause. But as you all know, this is something that you need to decide. As you know, we have quite a few. I hope everybody picked up your packet as you came in. And these are decisions that you need to make. So you need to go home and you need to analyze them, and you need to research. You need to figure out what cause and what charity you feel is most deserving of your money. Like I said, take pride in the Brothers Foundation, because I've worked with them, and I just know they're just a great cause. So that's what I want to reiterate and want to help with everybody. Everybody can make a difference in someone's life. It only takes a little bit. I mean, when we look around and see what we have compared to what billions and billions. Sorry, I get a little upset when I talk about it and I see it about the third world countries and what they go through and how they live and the devastation it's just, actually, it's heart-wrenching for me. So lend a hand, do what you can, and donate, and let's make this world a better place. Thank you.